Hi there. Do you have an open mind? Do you 1. Listen, 2. Consider the source, and 3. Study/inquire and pray for yourself. My name is CK, and I'm a Mormon.
Brothers and sisters, in one degree or another, we all struggle with selfishness. Since it is so common, why worry about selfishness anyway? Because selfishness is really self-destruction in slow motion.
So before we go further, for these next 2 videos, you need to know the meaning for these 2 basic words. Selfish and selfless. And just to help, here are some definitions as well. I'll let you read that. Got it? Good, because we're moving on. Hopefully we're on the same page now, because what I'm about to say may throw you for a loop. Lack of selfless does not equal selfish. Having pride does not always equal selfishness, but being selfish always equals pride.
I also remember one interesting side effect of President Benson's influential talk. For a while, it almost became taboo among church members to say that they were proud of their children or their country, or that they took pride in their work. The very word pride seemed to become an outcast in our vocabulary. In the scriptures, we find plenty of examples of good and righteous people who rejoice in righteousness and at the same time glory in the goodness of God. Our Heavenly Father himself introduced his beloved Son with the words, "In whom I'm well pleased." Alma gloried in the thought that he might be an instrument in the hands of God. The Apostle Paul gloried in the faithfulness of members of the church. The great missionary Ammon gloried in the success he and his brothers had experienced as missionaries. I believe there's a difference between being proud of certain things and being prideful. I'm proud of many things. I'm proud of my wife. I'm proud of our children and grandchildren. I'm proud of the youth of the church, and I rejoice in their goodness. I'm proud of you, my dear and faithful brethren. I'm proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with you as a bearer of the holy priesthood of God. So, what is the difference between this kind of feeling and the pride that President Benson called the universal sin? Pride is sinful, as President Benson so memorably taught, because it breeds hatred or hostility and places us in opposition to God and our fellow man. At its core, pride is a sin of comparison. For though it usually begins with, "Look at how wonderful I am and what great things I have done," it always seems to end with, "Therefore, I'm better than you." When our hearts are filled with pride, we commit a grave sin, for we violate the 2 great commandments. Instead of worshiping God and loving our neighbor, we reveal the real object of our worship and love, the image we see in the mirror.
Take the wait and see/ask approach before judging someone to be selfish. Maybe what they're doing is actually thinking of others. They're doing stuff that you haven't seen. Or maybe something you haven't observed is going on in their life, like a family member dying, immense debt, or maybe they stubbed their toe and broke it a little bit earlier. Here's a couple examples to help you understand what I'm saying. Example number 1. A server cleans some stuff that doesn't get done usually, while another server stocks something further away. Not because they don't want to stock their section, but so their coworkers wouldn't have to walk as far, carrying heavy stuff maybe. Example number 2. A usually friendly manager yells angrily at you for not filling out a report, when actually they've been having trouble at home with remodeling. Example number 3. The person in customer service is short with you at the counter, when actually they've been dealing with stress and criticism from friends or family about their personal beliefs.
Selfishness is often expressed in stubbornness of mind, having a mind hardened in pride. This often afflicts the brightest, who could also be the best. One thing the brightest often lack: meekness. Instead of having a willing mind which seeks to emulate the mind of Christ, a mind hardened in pride is impervious to counsel and often seeks ascendancy. Jesus, who was and is more intelligent than they all, is also more meek than they all.
The human race in general has always had the tendency to be selfish, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There are many instances where we need to make sure we ourselves are taken care of first before we can help others. I personally like to use the airplane instruction analogy.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, the panels above your seat will open, revealing oxygen masks. If this happens, reach up and pull a mask toward you until the tube is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, slip the elastic strap over your head, and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is still flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
So yeah, in an emergency, they're instructed to put on the mask themselves first before they help another. Sure, it's a great act of selflessness to take care of another first, but if you're passed out on the ground, you can't help anyone else, including yourself. Now, however, it's all too easy to get caught up in the selfish mindset. Say when a person thinks they can get a job done better or quicker than with help. Sure, it may be true. It may be self-righteous, pompous pride, though many times it could just be something that doesn't need some over-analyzing because no selfishness is involved. The key is to discern what your mindset is and be open to criticism, possibly even harsh criticism. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 5 through 9. Ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?